Hello, it's just me again. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my studio and welcome to class. Okay, so this class is another very simple thing. I've been trying to concentrate on simple things that I find attractive, or everything doesn't have to be so difficult. Also, if you're just getting your feet wet with polymer clay, it's nice to start with something simple. It doesn't take a major investment in stuff. So, those are my goals for you, especially if you're a beginner. Now, today's class, they're so cute, aren't they? They look like, okay, I like to eat. I like food. So a lot of things that I do, I look at them like, oh yeah, that looks like a potato chip. Or, oh yeah, that looks like an Oreo cookie. Or you get the picture. Well, these I'm calling bugles. Do you guys know what bugles are? Yeah, I'm sure some of you know what bugles are. Yum, yum, yum. So these are bugles. But this class is also known as what you can do if you have a clay gun. Yeah, for this class you will need a clay gun because I just don't see anybody rolling out miles of snake, like miles of one piece of snake. Okay, so having said all that and explained my fixation with food and particularly bugles, let's make some earrings. So the first thing you're going to need is well, maybe is, because you just need one. If you had one, you'd use it twice if you want to make two earrings. But I just went ahead and I made two, and what this is paper, kind of like light Bristol paper, so it's not like copy paper. And it's certainly not deli paper, but you form it into a cone. Like, that is your choice. How steep you want this to be, how narrow you want your earrings to be. Perhaps you want them wide like this. See how wide these are? Well, I made a pair of these wide. You know what? They're a little too wide for me. I put them on, and maybe by dropping them, making them longer, that they were hitting too high up, close to my cheeks, and they were kind of like this. Which wasn't really attractive. Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Let me get them. I'm back. I got them. So you see how big they are? They're really big. And, I like big earrings, but when I put these on, I was like, these are a little big. Yeah. So I went ahead, and they fit on there. I went ahead and I made these, which are narrower, and they're also shorter, which means less snake, right? Yeah, less snake. So what you want to do is you want to make your forms, and just make and tape a cone. And if you want to make both sides, both earrings at the same time, make two. Okay. All right. So that's basically all you need. Now, I've covered this with HVAC tape. I don't know that that's necessary for this project. Sometimes it appears to be, but I don't know. And it also depends on how many of these you're going to make. If you really like them, and I really like them, I'm going to make a lot more. As soon as I restore the strength in my hand from extruding 10 miles of clay snake, I will use these again. So, these are like my tools. So if you think you're going to do that, then maybe you want to make sure that they're more structurally sound. If you're going to make one pair, just take your paper, make your cone, tape it up, and on you go. Okay. So let me set up for the next part, which is the part that takes all my strength. Okay, so I'm going to use my clay, Kato POLYCLAY. But the important thing here for you guys is that you use a strong clay. Like if you're new and you just buy your clay from wherever you can get it, and you happen to buy Sculpey 3, I would say don't do this. Okay, just make sure you get a clay that is sturdy and strong. Yeah. The hardest part is like opening the package. How much clay? I'm going to fill this whole thing if I can. So I'm just going to cut off. Maybe I won't do the whole thing. My arms are a little achy from doing this. All right, so this is as much clay as I'm going to use, which is like 3 ribs. But what's really important for my clay, for Kato POLYCLAY, is that you soften it, okay? Because all of that clay is going to be forced through that little hole. See that hole? And I have to use this screen with just one hole because I want a long snake. And if I use a screen that has more holes, well, all the snakes that are extruded from that kind of screen are going to be shorter, right? I want to get all this through that hole. All right, so let me condition this, mix in this conditioning bar, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have to tell you, I made this clay really soft, like softer than I did when I made the others. So on the one hand, it'll be easier to extrude. I'm just rolling up a chubby snake. But on the other hand, I'm a little concerned that, you know, when I'm extruding all those miles of snake, that it might just want to stick together. Yeah, that could happen. That could happen. Making it softer definitely made it stickier. Not terribly, but I'm going to say it's stickier. So I just unscrewed it. Now, I do want to make it a little thinner so I can actually slide it in there. Got it in. I'm going to take my one whole screen. It's been getting quite a workout, as you can see. That's what it looks like. I'm not even going to clean it because it's just the same thing I've been extruding for days. Okay, not for days, like for a day. Well, longer than a day. Okay, now, I love this clay gun. This is my old Macon's clay gun, and I know there are others around. And it's nice that they gave us that crosshatch stuff, you know, that helps with the grip. But when you're using polymer or trying to push polymer through, sometimes it helps to have, well, a little help. This is just, you know, shelf liner. That's all, just shelf liner. And it's old shelf liner, so it's disintegrating. I gotta get new shelf liner. Let me put the shelf liner up here. Yeah. Okay, now it's just a matter of like that. And now, ooh, it's getting harder. But you know what, I have to say, it's a lot easier than before. Let me just stretch that out. Maybe that'll help. I'm still a little concerned about all of this just sticking together into like what looks like black spaghetti. And not being able to get it apart. Could happen, but it is way easier to do since I made the clay so ever-loving soft. If you saw the Slinky class, then you saw me doing this before. Yeah, I love that Slinky bracelet. It's a lot of fun. So easy. Couldn't be easier. Okay, the only way it could be easier would be if somebody else did it for you. Maybe you were gifted a Slinky bracelet. That would be the easiest. Okay. Oh, so much easier. I hope you don't stick together. Please. 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 Oops. Well, that's interesting. I just wound the whole thing around. You know, I'm thinking that's long enough. I did quite a number on that. Okay, so I'm close to the end, so it should be easier. Yeah, it's easier. The closer you get to the end, the less clay is sticking to the sides, the easier it gets to extrude. Now, I don't have a specific length. I kind of just do it until, and I mean when I'm wrapping it around the cone, just kind of do it. Of course, the goal is to make them the same size, so let's just see how it goes. The cones are the same size, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Should not be too difficult. All right, so maybe I'll just start and wrap all the way to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to begin by cutting. Actually, I'm going to cut right now. Yeah, I am, because I have to do something. I'm back. All right. Now, first thing, I'm just going to cut a little, make a little angled cut like that. Okay. Then I've got this doll needle. So I'm just going to wrap this around like that. See? Just like that. Then I'm going to take the needle out and take that hole and push it right to the top of the cone. Like that. You see? You see? And when you're starting, it's a little more difficult, but as you work and start wrapping, well, the clay, you get more surface area that's sticking together, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Now, one thing that is helping me out here, I believe, is the fact that I covered it with that HVAC tape because it's slick. And you know, paper is not slick. So the clay wants to stick more to this surface than just straight paper. Gosh darn it. You know, I hate those notifications. I thought I turned them all off. Okay, I'm cutting. I'm going to go turn off all my notifications. Okay, what I did was I went into airplane mode. My phone thinks we're flying. And I hope that does the trick. What else have I got around here that might notify? Well, this is working out just fine. Oops. Oopsie. Okay. Getting to the end. I'm just going to go all the way to the bottom. All right, so I can't make another full wrap. So it's at this point, well, maybe I can, but I think I'll stop, that I am going to make another cut like so. Whoops. Oopsie. Kind of like that. And then that is going to be secured to the row above it. Just like that. Okay, now I'm just lightly pressing so that the rows stick together, because we don't have anything underneath. You know, they're going to, the following row will stick to the previous row, etc. Like that. All right, so let me make the other one, and then I'll be back, because then we're going to do some powdering. Okay, I'm back. I did the other one. Now, what you want to do, as I said before, is just kind of press it like this so that... I'll be back. Okay, so everything is in airplane mode, and my computer is muted. Now, I bought some new powders from Temu, and I love the applicator. See, these guys go, but the powders themselves seem to be more gritty, not as fine. But we're going to give them a go. You know, who knows? We're going to try. All right, so let's start with this guy, champagne, gold, and green. Yeah, I love the little bottle, but I think the if you look at them, you can see that the flecks seem to be more coarse, which makes me sad, because you don't get the same kind of coverage. I can see that I don't have the same coverage. Too bad. Well, I'm going to keep going. Maybe these won't be quite as sparkly. Actually, maybe they'll be more sparkly, but I don't know. I mean, maybe the larger particle size will make them more sparkly, but they just, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so this gets really boring if you have to watch. So I'm going to start with like this, do maybe a third, and then move to the next color, then the next color. And all of these are sort of goldy red colors. Maybe kick back a little bit of green, but no blues and violets in this one. Okay, so I'll be back. So these are ready to go in the oven. I did add a fourth color, and I brought a little bit of blue and violet in. That's fine. But before we put these in the oven, let's put the very thing that's going to turn these into earrings and not just cones in the oven as well. Because if you look in the bottom, see that? See that silver right there? Well, that is a head pin. But that head pin is sitting in a little tiny piece of clay. Like that. And that's forming a plug. So when you put the, here I'll show you. When we put this through, and you can use any kind of ring, not ring, head pin through like that. Like so, then you've got a plug. then that plug goes up through the middle and it holds everything in place, okay? Then we'll put it together. But we've got to make those little tiny pieces. So I just go to my various little things that I have here. Doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be big enough so that it won't go through there. See, through the hole in the top. Okay, so I'm going to make it even smaller this time, just like that. I'm going to take a little needle, pierce a hole through the center, like so. Just a little tiny thing with a hole in the middle. Now all of this is going to go in the oven. Then I'll be back. All right, so, excuse me. These are cured, and you know what? They're just a little bit warm, but I'm gonna take it off of my form. Now what I have here is just a very, very fine needle, and I'm just going to push it down like so, all the way, and just kind of work it around. Okay. All right, and this is just loosening the clay off of my little form. You know, I did the other one when it was warmer, and it was, I think, a little easier. But this is going to work. It just may take a little more energy on my part. Oh, they're not so bad. Out it came. Okay. Now, here are the little black pieces that I made, but you know what? If you happen to have something like this, these are E-beads, you could just as easily use them the same way, like so, okay? But for me, I made them, I'm gonna use them. Just take your head pin, send it through, then repeat with the other side, because of course you need two. Now I'm going to straighten this out just a little bit. The head pin got kind of curved. Drop it down like so. Right, so I think I'm going to use little E-bead on top. I think that's a nice finish. Gonna take and pull so that there's no slack underneath. And the first thing I do when I'm doing this kind of thing is to take the wire and just bend it at a 90-degree angle, so you can see the wire coming out and it's at a 90-degree angle. Now I'm gonna seat the pliers again here, right at the point where it is 90 degrees. Oh, a little hard to see, right there. And this wire is nice and soft, so I'm just gonna swing it right there over that round plier and make a round loop, you see? Now, this is not correct, it's not very good, because you can see that the wire comes out and then the loop is kind of off to the side. So let's straighten it out, because what we want is we want that loop to be centered over that wire, and that's better. All right, so now I'm just gonna get a good grip on this, and I wish this was a little longer, but what I can do, if it were a little longer, this would be a little bit easier, but since the wire is so soft, I can just wind it around the neck like so. Now I will just cut the excess away. Okay. I need better cutters. I need better cutters. Something that's really gonna cut right there. No, that's not too bad. Okay, now it's ready to be attached to an earring finding. Yeah, so that's kind of up to you. I think this is a pickup shot because I shot this whole thing over here. So I had to do it again. So what follows is, well, I think I'm attaching this to some earring finding. Yeah. Now it's just a matter of attaching your favorite earring finding. Now these are stainless steel. I like them. This is what I'm going to use for this particular one. What I like about these is that the earring will hang just a bit lower. And by that I mean, you see the difference? Where the ear is, like that. Okay, so this is going to hang just a little bit lower off of my ear. And you know what? I think I am going to switch these out because these would benefit from hanging a little bit lower rather than as high as they are. Okay. I've got to cut this little tiny bit of wire. Come on. If I can get it. Sometimes it's tough. Well, I will work on that. I will either have to get it that way or somehow. I really do need some new tools. Yeah. Oh, forget about it. Okay, so there are the little bugle earrings ready to wear. So here we are at the end of class. This is what we made. This is the bigger one, the bigger one. Now, I know somewhere out there, there's somebody saying, I wonder what it would be like if I just separated all of this and let it dangle like a spring. You know how I know somebody's wondering that? Because I did. You know what happened? I'm going to show you. These are the earrings. I just want you to look at these. Okay? Now, this is all fine and good, but they're not going to stop there. I firmly believe that these are going to continue to stretch like that. Gravity's going to keep pulling on this spring, and this is going to be one mighty long earring. Yeah. Yes, I think that's what's going to happen. Eventually, it may be straight. It's not that it's that heavy, it's just that, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Now, you can believe me or you can say, nah, it'll stop. And I like those springy earrings, but I just wanted you to see what happened to me when I did it. Okay, so I have lots and lots of bugles. Here we go. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching the class. I hope you make lots of these. Yeah, they're not hard to make. I think they're really interesting looking. Yep, I do. I think the next pair I make are going to be even more narrow than this. I think I'll make some cones that are longer, but narrower. Not quite so wide. Okay, well, that's it for this class. So, you know what? I think it's time for me to say goodbye. So, I am Donna Kato signing off. Bye.